welcome to you. My name's Dale and this is DaylesAddiction, and this is the May Q&A video. Thanks to everybody who follows me over on Instagram and asked questions. If you don't, think about it. I post an outfit of the day nearly every day, and I do it to help me rotate the bags that I use and also to experiment more in my wardrobe. So if that sounds something you'd be interested in, please head over to @Dales_addiction. I'll put it on the screen here and follow me there. At the end of every month, I'll usually ask if you've got any questions that you want me to cover in this video. I also post on my YouTube community page, and you only get to see that if you are subscribed. So to do that, just hit the little red button down at the bottom to subscribe and the bell notification so that you know when I'm going to post more videos. So we've got lots of great questions again for this month, and I'm really always quite chuffed at the creativity and also the ideas that you come up with in the Q&A. So I haven't rehearsed any of these answers. If something comes up and I feel like it needs a little bit more attention, I might follow it up with a separate video. So if anything pops up that you think you'd like more information on, also let me know in the comments down below. So I am still a little nasal. It's the weird thing with this virus is that even though I'm over all of the really severe symptoms, I still have this like weird nasal nanny fine situation going on.
Oh, Mr. Sheffield. Oh, Mr. Sheffield. Oh, Mr. Sheffield. Oh, Mr. Sheffield.
Apologies if that's annoying for you. This one is from Secrets of a Shopaholic. Do you feel pressure to keep up with new unboxings being on YouTube? There's two parts to that question, I guess. Do I feel pressure, and is it because of YouTube? I don't feel pressure to keep up with unboxings because I don't really buy popular things. I mean, if you look just behind me, like these are not items that everybody on YouTube has. And that's generally the case in my collection because I'm a big seasonal lover. There's no doubt, to level with you, that unboxings are great for your views and for attracting new subscribers. You just have to look at my fabulous friend Meredith, and if you haven't seen her channel already, go and check it out, Living Lux with Meredith. I think out of the 6 videos she's put up, she's at about 600 subscribers as I write this video. It's more than likely she might be at 1,000 subscribers by the time I publish this video, and each of her videos have been unboxings. So I think that's the evidence, right? Now back to your question, do I feel pressure? No, I don't feel pressure. I don't buy for YouTube. I like to share on YouTube, but I'm not, I know I might qualify as an influencer because I have a public opinion that may contribute to people's decision making, but I'm not here to try and sell you anything or convince you that my bags are what you should buy or anything like that. I just want to talk about my bags because I don't have anyone else to talk to about it besides you guys. So yeah, the short answer is no. Okay, I'm going to attempt this handle, Fraga Bellissima. We'll see. Would you make a 5 styles for 1 bag video with your Sex and the City Fendi, please? So this is where my Instagram comes in handy. This is the bag we're talking about. I purchased my bag back in 2020, and I think it was about 3 months after the original re-edition launched. I was just so lucky that the boutique had it, and I walked in and I fell under the spell. And oh, look at that. Like, it's an overcast grey day today. I've got no lights. I've got my overhead light on and I'm sitting in front of a window, and that's what it looks like. Like, there's no stopping this bag. So can I do 5 different looks? Well, I could probably show you 5 different looks right here from my Instagram page. So I'm going to find them now and share them for you. So I'll just scoot over here a little bit so I can pop them in over here. So the first look that I'll share with you is I went out for a day shopping and lunching, brunching with a friend in Melbourne. I have styled the bag with a pair of distressed Levi wedgie jeans from a couple of seasons back, but I think they're just a regular style. An old floral blouse from H&M from ages ago. Like, I really rarely buy from H&M, but sometimes things just catch me and I love the shape of them. This is an olive new season blazer from French Connection UK and a pair of black suede boots. And I just love the fact that this outfit was all pretty matte tones with the kind of the floral blouse, but then you've got this pop of a bag. And for me, that's what I liked for a day look. And I was surprised at how much I enjoyed carrying that bag through the day, because by the looks of it and the sparkle, you think, oh, maybe it's just a night bag. So that is one look, and I really enjoyed that look. Now, the night before, I did take this bag travelling with me to Melbourne, so this is an evening look. I am wearing a beautiful tailored blazer by Victoria and Wood. I don't know the exact style of it, but I just love how it fits me. Then I've got a black crushed velvet camisole with a bit of lace over the top and black skinny jeans. I'm wearing my Fendi colibri pumps in the 8.5 centimeters, and I've used the bag to take it up a notch. I've obviously got some statement earrings on as well. But yeah, this is like a really nice refined evening look, but not too dressy. I was off to the theatre to see Hamilton that night. Okay, so this next look is a really casual summer day shopping look. I'm wearing a white linen dish dress. I love this dress. It's called Chai something stitch dress. I don't know. It's last season, so you probably won't find it anyway. I've got my Celine sunglasses, my Dior D-Way sandals, and I'm wearing the bag without the organizer in, so it's nice and slouchy. I prefer it that way. I think it really works as a nice summer look with a pop on a white background. And I think the logo on the slides kind of ties it in a little bit. I think if my slides were really plain and then I wore the bag, it wouldn't go as well. And because the slides are navy, they kind of introduce the cool tones for the bag. So that's my logic anyway. Okay, so this next look is another evening look, out for dinner with friends. I'm wearing a Reese dress from a couple of seasons back. It's beautiful, metallic kind of thread through the dress. My Valentino ankle boots, because if you know me, you know that I like to have something just a little bit a mess. I could have worn a strappy sandal, but I chose not to because I wanted to ground the look. And then I've got the bag again. I don't have an organizer in it. Top handle most of the time for me with this bag. I adore it. And then finally, I've paired it with another day look for a lunch. I think I was going to meet Ada from Ada Sully Style. She has a YouTube channel here too. And I've got the bag again without an organizer. I'm wearing it with an etro blouse that I purchased from Samantha Ogilvie here in Brisbane. A black blazer off the shoulder, my Valentino kitten heels, which everyone says are over, but I disagree. And I've just kind of incorporated those pink, magenta and purple tones. So there's 5 looks for you that should hopefully give you an indication of how to style the bag for pretty much any occasion. The next question is from Sapna. Any tips to maintain, protect the mink on your new Fendi First? Any tips? Look, just the ones that I've gotten as an informed consumer, I suppose. So here is the beauty that we're talking about. I've had this bag for probably a good month now. I've worn it out twice. We've had 2 solid weeks of rain here in Brisbane. So that's one of the contributing factors as to why I haven't worn it, and relates to my first tip. Don't wear it when it's wet. You don't want to get it wet. Secondly, with regard to caring for it, it came with stuffing. So I keep the stuffing in it just to maintain the structure of the bag. And I've also got like the dust bag with the strap inside of it. So it helps to keep the bag looking good, I suppose. Obviously, this is a bag, when I've taken it out, I took it to the cinema the other day and it was gold class, and so they serve food and drink. I was very careful that I had enough room on my big recliner chair to pop the bag down the side of me, so there was no chance that I was going to spill food on it or drink on it in a dark cinema. That would just be chaos. I think when I take this bag out, I'm going to need to make sure that it's a place where they offer you a chair for your bag, because putting it on a tabletop with this very, very beautiful base that has no feet or protection is probably not going to be a great idea either. But ultimately, I think it needs to be in a well-ventilated spot. From everything that I've read about storage of furs, particularly mink, it needs to be in a well-ventilated spot so that it's not subject to humidity. Despite it being wet outside, inside the house is great. We have good ventilation. Our houses are designed for that. So, so far so good. But as the more I find out, the more I will share with you guys. Have you noticed a trend? This is like a Fendi Q&A. So the next question is from That Beauty Place. What made you get the Celeria Peekaboo over the other? So this is the Celeria Mini Peekaboo, and the alternative, which I will pop up over here, is the Napa leather, and occasionally there are seasonal calf skin peekaboos as well. Now, there's a couple of things, I guess, if you're new to my channel, that you'll hear me refer to a lot. And people who've been watching me for a while know this phrase. My style mantra is done but undone. And the Napa leather is just a little bit too polished and perfect for my taste. I didn't know that the Celeria version of the Peekaboo existed. I'd only ever seen the Napa leather versions on YouTube when I was being introduced to Fendi virtually, I suppose. And it wasn't until I went into store and saw the Celeria that I was like, there's a Peekaboo for me after all. I see what the big deal is. And the thing that draws me to it is the fact that it just has this obvious human touch to it through the hand finished stitching, that it can be quite slouchy. So this leather of the Celeria is so soft and beautiful, and I want my Peekaboo to age. Like, I want it to eventually, I don't know if it will too much, but like, I hold out hope that it'll eventually open up and peek-a-boo. It has feet on the Celeria version. Kind of just did a really good comparison between the Fendi Peekaboo Celeria and the Hermes Kelly. So that's an interesting combo to review, but if you're interested, I'll link that video. But it has feet. I just love the fact I wear mine all open like this, and I want it to be quite slouchy. But the other thing that I love about it is if you do need to polish it up and be a lady and have that refined finish, you can close up the sangles, you can close up the bag, and now it looks like a beautiful little classic. This is not necessarily something that I, like a way that I would wear it, but I have worn my black bag like this out in the evenings, and ultimately the black version that I have of this is the reason why I sold the Dior, My Lady Dior, in the small, because I just kept reaching for the Peekaboo every time. Another Fendi question from That Beauty Place. Would you always wear the Fendi first with a strap? I don't know how I feel about it as a clutch. That is a great question. I think that I've got a photograph from when I was in Melbourne recently where I am carrying it as a clutch, and I think it depends on the size of the Fendi first that you have. I have tried the larger size, which is called the medium, and I wore it on the strap, and I found that it took away from the modern silhouette of the bag. It looked like a handbag I could imagine my mum carrying in the 80s, like in the smooth leather anyway. I just felt like you can't see the F detail on the clasp because it's under your arm. It's a shorter, thicker strap on the large one. And I think for many of those reasons is why I kind of didn't buy a Fendi first for a while. Back to your question with the strap and using it as a clutch. When I was in Melbourne, and I will find this picture, Okay, so when I was in Melbourne, I tried the beautiful striped pink, purple, gold tone Fendi first that matches my lovely colibris. You can see it in this photo here, which I'll pop up. Excuse me. And I couldn't fathom wearing that one on the strap, to be quite honest. Couple of reasons. One, the strap for that is a brown colour, which I thought was a weird choice for that beautiful coloured bag. But that bag is such a pop and such a statement that I think I would only wear that as a clutch. And I like to pinch it, as you can see in this picture here. I'm pinching it on the top of the bag. I'm not kind of cradling it under my arm. And I'm not holding it from the base. I'm kind of pinching it on the top. And for me, I feel like that's the best way to clutch the Fendi first. Anyone else who has a Fendi first that clutches it in a different way, feel free to share. But in this photo is how I would envisage me carrying the Fendi first clutch style. Eileen says, when are you coming to Melbourne next? I have no idea. I have no current plans to revisit Melbourne, but anything is possible. Dale here. Well, of course I'm coming back to Melbourne to pick up my Fendi made to order, and that could be November, December, or it could be next year. So, yes, a trip is on the horizon. I just don't know when. Miss Storm Erin. Hi, Erin. Is there a style of bag from Fendi you don't like and would never buy? If so, which one? This is a Fendi Q&A. Is there a style from Fendi I don't like? Look, there's a couple. One, I don't even know what it's called, but it's like this little camera style bag. I'll pop a picture of it up here. It's actually at a great price point, and a great way to get a piece of Fendi, but there's something about it that I'm not really drawn to, so I don't see myself buying that. I also don't see myself buying the large Sunshine shopper totes. I mentioned previously in some videos of mine, as much as I adore them, they're just not a practical bag for me. They fit the requirements of fitting a laptop and everything and the kitchen sink, but the structure of them is such that for my undone style, I would just damage that bag, and I don't want to damage a beautiful luxury bag just because of how I use it. So I don't see myself buying that. I've looked at the Montresor, which is the small bucket bag, quite a few times, and I've tried a bucket bag in the past, the Coach Laura bucket bag, as an inexpensive way to see if that's a silhouette that works for me, and it doesn't, so that's probably another one. And I'm on the fence about the Fendigraphy bag. I've been chatting to one of my Instagram subbies, Miss T here, and she has the Nano Fendigraphy and she wears it on a thick strap and it looks great, and that kind of opened my eyes to maybe I could do the Nano Fendigraphy like that. But I have tried it in the larger sizes and it's just on the shoulder for me. I don't know. I see me wearing that like the Bottega Veneta Jody bag, so just carrying it top handle or on the crook of my arm rather than as it's on the catwalk, which is over the shoulder. So I'm not ruling that one out, but I haven't found a style that convinced me. In saying that, I wasn't a fan of the Fendi first for quite a long time until I found a textured style that I love. So anything's possible. Erin also asks, when next overseas holiday? I don't have any current plans. I think this year, realistically, not going to happen. I did say in a previous Q&A, though, that never rule it out. We are quite impulsive. If an opportunity presents itself and we can make it happen, it could happen. But I don't like travelling to the Northern Hemisphere in winter. I'm not a winter holiday person. I think it's miserable. The weather's horrible. You've got to wear too many clothes. It's bad for shopping and walking, and they're all the things I like doing on holidays. So probably more like next spring. The Closet by Connor. If someone called you racist or abusive publicly, would you address them the same way? Yeah. I think I'd just try and call out how low that behaviour was. as you did, rather than stoop to their level and do the same thing. Rosie Rose M. Nothing to ask, just adore. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. Bits and Bags. Hi, Tanya. What's a lesson you've learnt and never forgotten? Oh, look, one of my mantras, and it's even engraved on my engagement ring, is simple things done well will always win the day. So always go for quality over quantity, and always keep it simple because it gives you the opportunity to chop and change without totally redesigning anything. For me, that applies to fashion items, it applies to homewares, it applies to cooking and recipes, it applies to planning holidays, it applies to gifts and gift buying for friends, gift buying for me, it applies to my garden. Pretty much everything I buy complies with that kind of theory. Also, Tanya, I was interested, I haven't Googled it, but as a teacher, you've written learnt, L-E-A-R-N-T, not learned, L-E-A-R-N-E-D. When do we use what? Is one American and one Australian or UK English? Help me out there. All right, Lux for Laura. What do you think your second lowest cost per wear bag is, and vice versa? So the bag I wear the second most? Is that what you mean? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. I'd say my first lowest cost per wear bag would be my Chanel wallet on chain, because I've worn that more than any other bag that I have, and I've had it for quite a long time. But this one would have to give it a run for its money, because now that I am working on a regular basis at one company, twice a week, every week, I'm carrying this bag, which is a lot in my collection because I rotate my bags a lot. So if you're not familiar, where have you been? This is the Balenciaga Gucci Hacker Project Ophidia tote. So this little trusty golden class wok would be the bag that I have used the most, that I've owned for the longest, and still gets pretty good rotation in my handbag collection. Lux for Laura, do you have any bags you feel guilty about not using, or using as much as you should? Well, I've just done a whole video based on my neglected bags, so I will link that video in the description box below. And a little spoiler is that, yes, but there are certain bags I tend to wear in certain seasons, and there are also certain bags that potentially I bought because I thought I should, but I'd never reach for them, so I shouldn't have done, which is another lesson. Back yourself and your own choices, because they're always right for you. So I'll link that video in response to your question below. Lady of Winter Rain, what's your least favourite aspect of the Lux community? My least favourite aspect is this context of tiered houses, as in you progress through tiers based on how much bags cost and what hoops you've got to jump through to get them. I just think that that's the opposite of luxury and a luxury experience. There's no doubt that everyone refers to the holy trinity of Louis Vuitton, Chanel and Hermes about reselling. But is reselling what luxury is about? Or is luxury about acquiring and enjoying the item? It kind of frustrates me that, and a lot of people that watch YouTube are watching to research and, spend their money wisely. And so to be told all the time that anything you buy that sits outside of those brands or outside of certain classic styles within those brands is not worthy, that rubs me the wrong way. I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm here to speak for all the people that love the things that you're told you shouldn't love from the brands that you're told aren't as established and luxurious as other brands. Geraldine Vance. Hi, Geraldine. Your most loved bag. My most loved bag. Oh, that's a good question, because I've been asked this question, like similar questions to this, bag that I would keep, blah, 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 but bag I'd save in a house fire / most loved bag. Look, I've got to say, it's my Louis Vuitton Petite Boîte Chapeau. I love this bag because I never would have bought it. My wonderful husband bought it for me for Christmas one year. Everything about it was a fabulous surprise. I have kept it in the sun. I've let the leather patina. I see this as decor just as much as I do a bag. I love it. I think it's really special. This and my trunk together are just really special pieces that I have from Louis Vuitton, and pieces that I'll treasure always. The Glitzy Housewife. Hi, Michelle. Do you have a bandolier? As in like a Louis Vuitton strap? If so, no, I don't. I did have a Keepall 45 with a bandolier, and I sold that because I found it super cumbersome. It just wasn't the airport flex that I hoped it would be. And Narelle from Rel Cords. How do you choose bags to take on a holiday? That's a great question. There's probably a couple of parts to this question, and I'm looking at the timer and going, this is going to be another 2-part Q&A. So I will answer this question and then I'll start the next Q&A, the next part. So how do I choose bags? If I'm traveling in Australia, there is nothing that stops me from taking the bags I want. So I look at what I'm doing on that trip. If, for example, I'm going to be touring wineries, or if I'm going to go to nice dinners, or if I've got a party to go to, I'll pick the bags for those specific occasions that I would pick if I was here at home, and I just pack those. Simple. I'm not worried about pickpockets. I'm not worried about storage, because I'll have my rollerboard suitcase. I'll be able to pack my bags inside of that, keep them with me, keep them safe, and I don't have any concern about walking around any areas here in Australia and drawing attention to myself based on the bag that I'm wearing. If I'm traveling overseas, it depends. If I'm traveling to established cities, for example, if I'm going to London or New York or Rome, even though you might say you draw attention to yourself wearing luxury, the amount of people wearing luxury is pretty high. So again, I would carry bags that suit the function of the holiday. I always love to take this bag. This is one of my go-to bags for travel. I like to take my Louis Vuitton favourite, and I think I've covered this in a recent video too. I can put my wok inside of it, and then I've got 2 bags. Another bag that I really enjoyed for holiday is my Louis Vuitton Clapton, just because it's so weatherproof. It's a fabulous bag. It's discontinued. You may be able to find it on the pre-loved market. I bought this specifically for a 4-week holiday in Spain because I thought that it was a great neutral and it would cover the season, which was coming out of winter into spring. Yeah, perfect bag. And this one I bought on that holiday and I wore it a lot. And it's a Valentino camera bag. I bought it in Paris and I wore it pretty much for the rest of the trip. I loved it as a great neutral, beautiful leather, a little bit of personality as well, and great for day to night. So camera style, or flat bags, really great for taking on trips overseas that you can wear crossbody, keep them nice and close to you. And have I would feel sad going on holiday and leaving all my luxury at home, which is when I really want to enjoy it because I've got the time, worrying about the fact that somebody might mug me or whatever. I think your presence when you're on holiday is a big part of whether or not you're a target. If you're some of those people walking around with a big camera hanging around your neck and a street map and like not really aware of your surroundings or who's coming past or what have you, then you're probably going to be a target whether you're wearing a Louis Vuitton bag or a non-branded bag. I don't think it really matters. So I think you've got to have a presence about you. Do your research when you're out and about. Make sure you know how to speak some terms in the local language. You know, don't be going, oh, do you have directions to get here or there? Like, you just look like a target. Even the way that you order, you give instructions to your taxi driver, cab driver. I always make a point of sounding quite familiar with my surroundings so that I don't look like a visitor. All right, that's going to take me to the end of part 1 of the Q&A. Thank you so much for asking those questions. If you've got any views on the answers that I've provided, please fill up the comment section down below. And if you want to hear more about any of the topics that I covered in this Q&A, let me know in the comment section as well. Stay tuned. Part 2 is coming right up, so I will see you there. Bye.